Hi guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler, back with another worm test for you. These plates, I threw them aside after our last dance quite a while back. We're cleaning up, and these ones are actually sugarcane pulp plates, supposedly biodegradable. There's some remains of cake on there, don't know what that was actually, it's dried out well and truly, but great chance to test these supposedly biodegradable plates and see if the worms will eat them. I do know that sometimes they claim biodegradable on products, and home compostable isn't necessarily the same as industrial composting, and they don't always do well in a domestic situation. But you know, if the worms eat them, they're going to compost fine, so good chance to test these. We'll put them in a garden bed now and see how they go. Okay, we've got a nice garden bed here. Nothing's been in this one for a while. I levelled it out with the scratcher before. Didn't see any worms, but I'm sure there's some in here. So we'll put these both down here. They're not overly large plates. They're sort of bread and butter plate size. So they'll soak up moisture, I guess. They'll take a while to sort of settle down. I'll put the carpet back over them. As usual, keep them damp, and I'll check them in a week's time and we'll see what's going on. It's now 3 weeks later. I've left these a bit longer because I did have a couple of looks and nothing seemed to be happening, but 3 weeks we should give a report. Now we've got a couple of worms just lazing around on that plate. The plates have kind of moulded to the soil a little bit, as you'd expect, being wet. But look, there's really not much going on 3 weeks in. So I would suggest that these aren't as biodegradable as one might expect. As I said earlier, industrial composting is different to domestic home composting, and I think companies use all sorts of whatever they can terms to get away with for marketing their products. So I'm going to leave them, but really there hasn't been much eaten. There's a little bit of a nibble out of that side, but the worms don't seem super interested. So we'll leave it a further 2 or 3 or 4 weeks and come back. I'm not really worried about the time frame, although it is interesting. We want to see if they actually will be consumed by the worms and as such kind of compost. But yeah, we'll check back after a while and see if anything's going on. Actually, just before I run away this time, we will add to this experiment. I've just got a bit of a strip here I tore off an egg carton. It's very similar sort of density and thickness to these plates, perhaps a little bit thicker. But we'll put that in too, just to see if the issue is with the makeup of the plates, or whether the worms just aren't perhaps in this garden bed. So we'll leave that one there, and we'll see how we're going in a few weeks down the track. Alright, time to check back in on these sugarcane plates and our little strip of egg carton. Now I've left it quite a few months. We've had cold weather and I wasn't worried about the time of this experiment, so I've just left it go. Oh, okay, that's good. Right, the plates are pretty much disappearing. The egg carton piece is actually still there mostly, but that's probably a good sign, in that it tells me that the worms aren't super active in this area. Possibly the garden bed's just a little bit stale after so many experiments and I need to dig it all over. We have had quite a cold winter, lots of frosts, and this bed's a little bit exposed to frosts. So that's probably what slowed them all up. But the fact that the egg carton piece is still mostly there, and these plates are disappearing, yeah, look, there's hardly anything left of them. So that's great. That means that yes, they are biodegradable. They don't need to be put through industrial standard composting. You can safely put them in your own compost, and the worms are going to eat through them eventually. They're pretty much all gone. So that is good news. I was expecting that maybe it might have been a little bit of kind of false advertising on those, but no, that ticks the box. I don't think we need to check back on this experiment. I think we can safely say that these sugarcane pulp plates are home compostable and the worms will eat them. So very good. Happy with that experiment. I'll dig this garden bed over and freshen it up now, and I might even dig some of the soil out and put it elsewhere because it's going to be nice and rich with nutrients. And then I'll build this bed up and we can do some more experiments. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.